In this video, we're going to be dosing our goats with an Herbal Dewormer. Before we get it started, if you would please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for supporting us. Goats are more susceptible to worms if they do not live on a rotated pasture. Goats that can be rotated in pastures and not eat the grass down to a low height where they can always keep taller grass to graze on are less susceptible to getting worms. What you hear in the background is my boy riding his truck around. So if you can keep your goats in a rotated pasture, that would be the ideal situation. We are on a small homestead here. We do not have the acreage to rotate our goats in pasture, so we have a small area to keep them in. So we are concerned about them getting worms. We want to keep the worms at bay. The last time I did the fecal sample on my goats, their worm load wasn't very much at all, but we want to go ahead and do this as a preventative to prevent them from even getting the worms. The barber pole worms feed on the blood of the animals, which results in severe anemia. So that's something that could be deadly to your animals. One way to monitor your goats for anemia is by checking their Fermata scores, and we try to do this weekly around here, and I'll post some pictures here that show what you should be looking for when you check their Fermata, and that basically all you're doing is just pulling their eyelid down and checking inside their eyelid for the color of it. If it's a pale pink or a very light pink or white, if it's white, you have a serious problem. You need to get it taken care of immediately. If it's a pale pink, you may need to dose your goats for worms. This is the Fermata chart that you compare your eyelid color to. The first two that have the check marks, you're good to go. You don't need a dose. The middle one with the question mark, you possibly need a dose. You probably need to go ahead and get you a fecal sample there. The last two, you definitely need to dose for parasites. If you have a high worm load, a herbal dewormer may not be effective. You may need something more potent. But in our case, we do not have a worm load in our goats right now, a very high worm load. Are you chasing chickens? Don't chase them. So we want to do the herbal dewormer as a preventative. If we had a serious case of like barber pole, we would not be treating with the herbal dewormer. We just got our package from Molly's Herbals. This is all natural care for animals. It's an herbal warmer, and I got the kit, so I'll go through a little bit of that with you and tell you how we're going to dose them with this. So I'm going to attempt to give it to them in their mixed in with their feed and see how that goes. If they don't like it that way, then I'll make a drench and just use the drenching gun and give it to them. They're also getting their vitamins and minerals today. So we'll see how this goes. Got something for y'all girls. Alright, come on girls. Everybody seems to be doing pretty good with it. I'm just going to mix some more of their food with it, because they're a little leery of it. Come here. This one's yours. This one's yours. Come on, Millie. So they definitely know that it's in there. They're not eating as fast, and they were stopping in between. But it seems to be going pretty good. I just mixed it in with their food. They normally will gobble their food right up. This one over here is yours. They're a little slower about eating their food, but it's going good. So I just dosed the boys with their Replimon. and this is their first time ever having any grain, so they're eating, well, he's eating it up. It's got the wormer in it. I'm going to try to do one goat at a time so I can make sure they get it all. Your turn's coming, Bo. They're not loving it either. I went back and checked on the girls and they stopped eating theirs. I think that we'll be able to eventually get all the wormer in them, but for next time I know for sure to definitely use the drenching gun. They're not crazy over it. They're not eating it up. I'm hoping that they'll eat the food throughout the day and get it all in, but I'm not sure if they will or not. So next time we know to use the drenching gun. Martha's wanting to put some tomatoes in this little bird feeder. The chickens will like them.
A bird might like.
You want to put that one in?
A bird might like.
The chickens will definitely like it.
No, a bird. A bird, Mama.
Close it up. And you can hang that in the chicken coop.
Why did not eat?
You got any eggs in there? You didn't look? Yeah, we got some eggs in here. Let's see how many we got in here. I'm sure there's some in the duck coop. They seem to like to lay in there. Did you find any eggs in the duck coop?
Nope.
Nope. There she is, laying us one in the duck coop. Why don't you lay in your nesting box? This crazy duck right here likes to stay right in between my legs so that he almost gets stepped on. What are you doing that for? See? He gets right in front of my feet when I'm trying to walk. What's wrong with this duck? But then if I try to love on him, let's see. You want some lovin's? You want me to pet you? Oh, you do. You do. This is rare. He rarely lets me touch him. Try to do the Herbal Dewormer today with the drenching gun instead of in their feed because that didn't go very well yesterday. I just got to do one of the boys. I did one of them this morning, so we're almost done.
No, what bad?
We'll go in and mix up one more of these and come back out and do you, Miss Millie. This is their wormer stuff, so they don't get worms in their belly. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for our next video.